Good afternoon. Welcome parents, families, honored guests, staff, and most of all the incredible class of 2011. I want to thank you so much for this great honor. Honestly, when I found out that you had selected me to speak today, it was the greatest honor of my life, and I thank you so much for that. I have known many of you since you were babies. A lot more of you since you were little kids. I've watched you grow, learn, and thrive here in our beautiful valley. I love your wit. I love your sense of humor, your intelligence, your smiles, and most of all, your heart. I think when I think of this class, that's the word that I think of. I think of heart. You are a big-hearted class. The biggest, hardest class I have ever had. You're wonderful. One of the things we do as social studies teachers is we try to teach our students about social justice. You guys get it, and I love that about you. Whether it's in the classroom, on the athletic field, in student leadership, or in the workplace, I see you out there working, striving, and I love you for it. Just amazing moments I've had with this class. Chord North, singing Duke Ellington a cappella in my history class. Tanner Sizemore making a very vigorous defense that Nikola Tesla is probably the greatest scientific genius, not Albert Einstein. And Sierra Hood's amazing autism project is just one more example of the heart of this class of 2011. 4 years ago, you were freshmen, and so was I. That was my first year teaching. I was a freshman teacher, and like you, I was scared, nervous, excited, probably feeling a lot of the same emotions that you were that day. And I'll never forget that first day we were there. I was in my classroom, and Kathy Motherspaw, remember Mrs. Motherspaw? Yeah. Came to my classroom and said, "Hey Mike, would you like to be a freshman class advisor?" Now a smart fella, might have asked at that point, what might the duties of a class advisor be? I didn't do that. I actually just went all Forrest Gump on her and went, okay. Sounds like a fine idea. And that began for me really what was an affair of the heart with this class. You remember the first time we met all together as a group? Freshman Friday. Remember Freshman Friday? Guided tours, Sundays, gym clothes, spirit wear, and most of all, that's what I'll remember the most. Ice cream Sundays, I'll remember that first spirit call. Remember that? We got up there, we tried to teach you how to do it. Whose house is this? And you guys would win. Our house. Shall we try it one more time? You guys got pretty good at that too. Your education is not finished today. You must be lifelong learners. You must continue to grow because our world is changing. It's changing very rapidly, very quickly, and you must evolve and learn. Success is often described as getting back up on your feet one more time than you fall down. You must remember this. Your critical thinking and problem-solving skills that we have endowed you with here at Big Bear High School will serve you well for the rest of your life, because you will be working in industries with technologies that probably haven't even been invented yet. So, much of what you will need to master has not come to be at this time. I can't lie to you. You're going out into a country, into an economy that is in trouble, that it is troubled. This is a tough times. We have a war, a tough economy, and debt. Tough times never last, but tough people do. You must be tough, determined, tenacious, and willing to go the extra mile to succeed. I found a quote by Teddy Roosevelt, and I found it very touching. And it was basically his way. He had a very short, sharp economic downturn at the end of his presidency, and he said, quite simply, do what you can with what you have where you are. And that's pretty good advice in tough economic times. We're just going to have to tough this out. Look to your leaders, not in Washington, not in Sacramento. Look in the mirror. There's your leader. You are now, or very shortly will be, a voter, a part of our great experiment in democracy, to see if this nation or any other so conceived can long endure. Get involved. Your vote does count. Hold these Washington and Sacramento politicians accountable. Be, like like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. I found another quote that kind of has a lot to do with this, and I loved it. This was by the great sociologist, cultural anthropologist Margaret Mead. And she said, "Never doubt that a small group of determined, thoughtful people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." We are a can-do country. America has defeated great empires, tamed a continent, led the world in innovation and technology, defeated the greatest threat to humanity in World War II, led the world into space, and we have defended democracy worldwide ever since. You are now, especially as voters, part of this great nation. As Winston Churchill once said, America is the best last hope for humanity. We are also a nation of immigrants, a quilt of many colors and fabrics. This is the key to our greatness, in my estimation. To come to America, to reinvent yourself, to make a better life. This is the dream of all people, and for many people, America has been that dream. I wanted to talk a little bit about a life of service. In your invitation, there was a quote from a man named Horace Mann. If you do not know who he is, he was basically the father of the educational system in this country. And he said, "Be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity." And I think that's great advice to live your life. To all those who strive to serve humanity, I humbly salute you. To our armed forces, our intelligence communities, our police and firemen, and the others who keep us safe. To our educators, scientists, engineers, and leaders, medical professionals who strive to improve the quality of life for all people. To all those who simply work and toil to make a better life for your families, I salute you. And to all those whose efforts to bring beauty, light, and creativity, you have a space in my heart. I found one more great quote that I'm going to share for you, and this is from a man named Jimmy Doolittle. He was an aviation pioneer, a World War II hero, and he said simply, and I love this, "Just try to make the world a better place for your having been here." There's a few people I would like to thank right now. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank my cohort, Mr. Ken Nettlebeck, for stepping up huge for the class of 20. I also have a huge shout out for Miss Sue Reynolds for everything she does for our students, for our staff, and our school. The best ASB director in the entire known universe. Yeah. I would like to thank the entire staff of the entire Bear Valley Unified School District who have educated my two children from their first day in kindergarten to this. I am so very proud to be a part of this incredible group of professionals. And to all the 2011 students who helped us, especially the class officers, to build a float, sell a candy bar, flip a burger, decorate for a dance, plan a prom, and all the other stuff, thank you so very much. I would also like to thank Mr. Nick Topoleski for being an awesome leader for our class. Thank you, Nick, And I also want to thank Mr. Gilbert and Mrs. Fulmer, basically for putting up with our shenanigans. And most of all, I want to thank you, the class of 2011. You have touched my heart in ways that you'll never know. And for that, eternally